Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Matt. What's up, dude?
Happy Friday, Saturday, Sundays.
Yeah. Yo, happy Sunday, right?
How are you?
Hold on, let me...
This will mess me up for the week now.
I know, right? I'll be messed up, too. Hold on, let me pop this out here. Bam. All right, let me get the chat up. There's that. And then we want... live chat. There we go. We are good. Good. And then this here, bam. Yo, Brino, what's up, dude? Grim Medic, what's up, buddy? BK, what's up, dude? How are y'all? So chat, listen, I don't know if you guys remember last week, right? We had that fellow who unfortunately lost his son to suicide, and that was kind of a lot to reflect on. Next week, we also have a guest. So what we're trying to do, chat, is like, I know that when we have these guests, it's a little more focused towards their story and stuff like that. But I think it's intricate that we as individuals hear other people's stories and we can kind of learn from them and all that good stuff. So I apologize, we're not as interactive as what it normally is. So when we have these guests, what we're going to try and do is space it out. So like, for example, last week we had that Robert guy, right? And then this week we kind of reflect on that, talk about it. Also, we'll announce what's going on next week. But we do have a guest lined out for next week as well. Okay. Yep. Does that sound like a decent plan to you guys? Are you guys okay with that plan or what? Are you guys okay with that? Y'all down?
It's a plan, which is a start.
Somewhat of a plan, which is I don't plan, chat. I just go by the seat of my chair, pretty much throughout life, right? So yeah, we kind of make it work. Yo, Chris Armstrong, what's up, dude? How you doing, man? Yo, chat, Mental Health Friday, but on Sunday.
Is that like an ejector seat, that one as well, Chris?
It's something like that.
I was just expecting one day where you just have enough and you just pull the cord and fly.
Here we go. Whatever works for you guys. What? So me and Matt were kind of talking about this before, we're always all about being interactive and stuff. But I think these mental health streams, especially when we have guests who encounter things, that it's really very, very helpful, at least for me, to listen to their story and listen to what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? Right? It's been a rainy, shitty weekend. I wish we had that rain, dude. Listen, can you please send it over here? You know what I mean? Yeah. Please. We'll take it any day of the week. Good plan. Yo, Chris, but guess what? Tomorrow's a new week, bro. 100%. Tomorrow's a new week, right?
I have to keep remembering that because I've got to get the kids up for school. So I can't wake up tomorrow morning thinking it's Saturday.
I know, right?
In trouble. Yeah.
I will try, bro. Been extremely cold here. High 15 degrees Celsius. What is that to Fahrenheit? Anybody know offhand? Right? What is that to Fahrenheit? It's been cooling off here, chat. It has been cooling off here, and I'm super excited, man. Like this morning, I think I got up at like 8, right? I got up at 8, and Chelsea and Matt were still sleeping or whatever. So I was just down in the living room. I opened up the door. I got one of the little sliding doors with the little fucking screen on it. You know what I'm saying? And it felt so good outside, Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. It's Sunday. It is Sunday. It's Mental Health Friday, but on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Right. So how is everybody's weekend, right? Like I know you said it was rainy and shitty. Did anything else go on that we need to talk about? You know what I'm saying? Chat, I had a really, really good weekend. Matt and Chelsea came into town last night. We went out to the bar last night and had some fun, and it was just really nice being around like physically around friends and stuff like that again, and like actually going out and doing stuff, you know what I mean? Right. Like I was happy, man. It really made my day. Yo, Brino with the 59 degrees Fahrenheit. That's good weather right there, bro. I would take that any day of the week.
Same here. We need a bit of that.
I love hoodie weather 100%. Right. That's why I keep it like 67 degrees in my house. Like wear a hoodie. Let's see. According to Google anyway, we'll roll with that. That sounds good enough to me, right? Even if it's wrong, we'll just say it's right because that's really good weather. You know what I'm saying? That's really good weather. 31. Hey, man, send it this way, dude. I'll take that too, bro. I will take rain and cold if you guys don't want it. Just send it. Right, send it.
What did you think about your Chris Netzel merch?
Oh, that was funny as shit. That was funny.
I don't know if everybody's seen that. I'll have to try. I don't know if I've got it there, so I can put it on Discord. Perhaps I don't know, but yeah.
Yo, that had me laughing.
I just found that in a shop during the week, but I'll have to get one actually as well. I will have to get one, I think.
Oh God. Yo, took my girlfriend out for her birthday on Friday. Yo, Chris, Can you
That's
tell her
good.
we said happy belated birthday, bro? We'd appreciate it. All right. Did y'all have fun? Did you guys have fun or what? Yo, Blue, what's up, buddy? Yo, what's up, Blue? No, you can keep the cold. And he say warm here. No. We want the cold. I'll take it. I'll take it any day of the week. Just send it this way. Bring on the cold. It's job shirt season in EMS. What is job shirt season? Right? What is that? Let's see. I can barely handle the 59 too hot. Damn, you wouldn't like it here in Texas, none. I'll tell you that. You know what I'm saying?
I like the little emoji as well.
Oh, you got her in here, a new pew pew? Hell yeah, bro. Good shit, dude. Good shit, man. I like it, dude. That's a good present. You know what I'm saying? Those pullovers, I love hoodies, man. I love hoodies. 100%. 59 too hot. Yo, Miss Robin, what's up, sweetie? What a problem to have. I know, right? And yo, it's even worse for you, Miss Robin. Shit, it's like fucking 180 degrees over there in Arizona. You know what I'm saying? It's always hot. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Miss Robin? How are you? So for those of y'all just showing up, check this out. What we're doing this week is we're just kind of hanging out with you guys because we have a guest next week and we had a guest last week, right? And I know that when these guests are here, sometimes it gets a little challenging with keeping up with chat and then letting them talk and, you know, without interrupting them. So that stuff last week, Matt, was really, really intense, bro. Like I just, man, like I spent a lot of time afterwards reflecting on like, what would I do if I was in his shoes, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, chat, do you guys have any thoughts on this? Right? Like, let me ask y'all a question. After y'all heard that story about his son committing suicide, and those of y'all that are parents or potentially to be parents or whatever, you know, like, what would you guys do, bro? Like, I don't know if I'd be able to handle it, right? The way that he has, but I really think the outs that he has for it and the fighting that he's doing to run behind it to make things better and change other people's lives is definitely a good avenue. What you think, Matt?
No, definitely. And I think as well, he didn't really kind of know too much about myself before kind of coming on that evening. We'd had a couple of little brief chats just where I kind of asked him whether he'd be happy to come on really and kind of share his story. But I've worked in a lot of the services, like the different services that he kind of spoke about, and I know the changes that you know, it sounded like have been kind of, you know, brought in because of the loss of his son in those circumstances. I think are huge for those services, because when I was working with them at the time, it was something that we would talk about a lot. You know, there isn't this support here, and why aren't we doing this way? So I'm sure, you know, it was much needed, the changes that are, you know, hopefully happening there. But it's such a shame, isn't it, that it takes events like that to happen, you know, to kind of force those changes and for them to bring those in when, as staff members, they were kind of common sense for us, really. It's, you know, why aren't the parents kind of supported this way? You know, why isn't, you know, sort of things acted upon a lot quicker rather than the length of time that it takes? I think the good thing for me is, and probably for you, Chris, as well, is that you've got more of an understanding in how the police work in those situations and why they do things. But what comes across is that those actions aren't always understood by the other side, are they really? And the people involved, you know, the victims of crime or the victims of those sort of events. And that's, again, really, isn't it? It's where communication comes in that kind of makes the whole difference in those, rather than assuming that someone's okay or assuming that they want time. You know, why aren't we asking, really, and finding out and talking to them?
Right. So Chris Armstrong said, to tell you the truth, I wouldn't be able to handle it, you know, and that's kind of what I was telling myself too. I'm like, damn, dude, could I make it through that? You know, like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't think we would ever really know for sure unless we were in that predicament, right?
Yeah.
God forbid, like nobody, you know what I mean? Like I would never wish that upon anybody. But I will say this: humans, I think we have a resilience in surviving, right? Like, and I think our body like strives for that subconsciously. And so that may come into being a factor of how he's able to function like that, you know, and plus he has those healthy outs, you know what I'm saying? He talked about how he reached out and talked to people and stuff like that. So I think those are all good things too, but God, man, that's just, that's a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think as well when they spoke about like the charity work that they both done together, you know, kind of shared that time of going over to France here, where we know there's a lot of people, kind of, especially young people, live in sort of in immigration camps and that sort of thing, who had both helped out a lot. So you know, they've obviously spent a lot of time together as well, which were good, happy memories for him as well, that they'd done
Right.
that and shared that. Which is always important to kind of reflect on those times, isn't it? But at the same time as well, I think kind of the anger that he kind of felt as well. That's a common thing that when I speak to a lot of people, they kind of bring up as well, is that no matter how much I love that person, you know, I feel angry at them that they kind of decided to take those actions and things, which is, you know, is only natural. It's kind of our human response to those things, which I can completely understand. But then having that feeling of anger towards someone that you love and miss so much, you know, it's a hard thing to kind of deal with as well. So there's so many thoughts and emotions there. He's doing some great work though as well on his TikTok, and I've kind of, there's been a lot of posts this week that I've kind of seen, you know, around Suicide Month and things like that, and awareness and stuff. And you know, he's obviously striving really to kind of try his best to make sure that it doesn't happen to other people.
I'll say this, right? Like, I think he brought up a lot of really good points, man. Especially because this is and this is something that I don't know who here has experienced like close loved ones committing suicide or anything like that, but it leads you down this path of like, what could I have done better, right? And in all reality, none of that's fair. You know what I'm saying? And that's a road that you'll never get any answers to, and it's an unhealthy road to travel, which I learned the hard way myself, right? But it is, suicide is taking all of your pain and all your hurt and just dumping it on other people, you know? And it's kind of refreshing, I guess, because in a way, like, I think when you experience something like that, in a way, you almost feel guilty for feeling that way. So I was really I was taken back on in a good way, right? Like that he addressed that, you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
I think it takes a lot to be able to even just say that, you know what I'm saying? Because it's such a touchy subject anyways, you know what I mean? But to actually be there and be on the ground, boots on the ground, fighting that fight right now, you know what I'm saying? Like it almost reinforced to me that, like, when I went through some of my stuff, right, like, it was okay to be angry. It was okay to be a little bit spiteful about it, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it's just tough, man. Like, I don't know, man. Like, and I'll be honest with you, throughout the whole week, you know, whenever I was just by myself or anything like that, just sitting around, you know, I was like, damn, dude, what would I do? You know what I mean? Like, it's been some serious reflecting on what that was all about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely. And Chris has just sort of said something there as well, really, where after watching the stream, you know, being divorced and living so far away from his children, you know, he's you know, kind of he called them afterwards, and I was kind of the same myself. As you know, it was obviously later here, so as soon as I finished, I went upstairs and just took a look at my two. You know, it certainly made me feel very similar as well, of kind of wanting to, you know, just kind of check in on them really, and you know, so it got me thinking as well. And I'm working quite often with, you know, similar situations or people that have similar conversations, so you know, it's kind of surprised me a little bit, really, of still how it kind of made me sort of feel and react, and brought up the same emotions, really, where you just kind of want to hold your own children that little bit closer, sort of that evening and during the week.
Yeah, I agree, man. And I don't know, man. It's just, to me, like, I think that he's brave as shit, man. I really do. You know, having the courage to come out here and talk about it and confess those things, right? Say those things, because there's such a stigma on, like, how you should react, not just to that these days, but to anything in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for him to just confront it and call it is what it is, I kind of develop a lot of respect for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, definitely. I think Tracy had a win there on a scratch card as well. Is that?
Yo, good stuff. Good stuff. Yo, Miss Tracy, what's up? How are you?
Hi,
Yo, Shock,
Tracy.
what's up, buddy? How you doing? Oh yeah, it's sad when their father don't call their kids on their birthday.
Yeah, yeah. That's actually that's quite a good conversation, really, isn't it? Because it does lead into that. Unfortunately, you know, there's a lot of things with parenting and children and things like that that kind of goes on. And I saw a post the other day which was about breaking that cycle, where there was some cartoon kind of grandparents, parents, and then the children. And it was the person's like parent who was holding up a shield protecting their child of like the experiences that they'd sort of had, if that makes sense, along the chain. And it really kind of stuck out for me as well after having that conversation last weekend. You know, it does. I've actually been the recipient of those kind of things, actually, of having like not having a phone call on your birthday, not receiving a birthday card and things like that. And sort of, to be honest, sort of my dad, he's not very organized that way. He wasn't when I was younger anyway. And there was a lot of birthdays where you just wanted kind of a card, you just wanted that kind of acknowledgement. And it, you know, didn't need a big present, didn't need a lot of money spent on me or anything like that. Just kind of watched out for a card, really. So it's those simple things that make a huge difference. And I think what Robert was talking about last week was a good reminder, really, of, you know, make use of the times that we have got together and try to get those little things in place. Because even a phone call, a card, you know, those little extra acknowledgements of, you know, how you're doing today, what have you been up to, you know, make all the difference, I think.
Right. And you never know when your card's up or your loved ones, you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely best to just take advantage of every second that you got, possibly. 100%. Yo, Miss Tracy, I appreciate them kind words. Yo, Chris, I appreciate you, Chris, man. I've been there myself, dog, right? Like, I know, and listen, it's a blessing, right? It's a blessing that we're all here. And I will tell you this, there's been a lot of clarity ever since those kind of incidents, at least for me. I'm proud to say that I'm at a different point in my life, man, to where, like, I can wake up and smile, you know what I'm saying? And, bro, I got a beautiful daughter, you know, like, and what more could I really ask for, you know? And I think a lot of the times too, like, especially, so chat, like, partying, being stupid, all that stuff back in the day, man, like, you know, trying to band-aid shit, you know what I mean? And trying to hide pain and hide not being able to cope and stuff really fucking wore me down, you know? So, like, it's nice to know that I don't have to be scared of problems happening, right? Like, I could just make it happen, you know what I'm saying? And obviously I won't have control over what happens, you know, but I do have control with how I respond to it. And I think that's probably one of the most instrumental things in my life that has made my life a lot simpler, right, and a lot easier, is that to accept that and then to make sure that I have, you know, things set aside for when times get tough, right? You know?
Yeah.
What's your rating, Matt?
Yeah, definitely. And I think as well, it's like these Friday nights and the weekends, or Sunday nights sometimes, they've really helped me out over the last week and last year and so. And I think last week when Robert said, you know, we should be open about the experiences that we have and what's happened to us and things like that, and, you know, have more of those conversations and that communication. And it shouldn't be kind of seen as being brave to kind of say that you've had a difficult time or a hard time. It should be, you know, just a normal conversation, really, as in, you know, that we should feel free to kind of talk. And these weekend sort of conversations certainly helped me out over the years of being more open, because I think years ago, you know, kind of you as the person to be seen to help everybody and that you didn't have problems. And I even had friends say that to me, which I've sort of said on here before during that time, is, oh, you don't have problems, you know, you're the one that solves everybody else's. But we're only all human. You know, we all have down days. I've certainly had mine in the past, and this each week has really helped me kind of open up during this time, because I always years ago, I used to sort of think I have to protect that professional kind of side. And, you know, doesn't look good if you've kind of had your own problems and things, but of course I have, everybody has them. So, you know, so, yeah, we need to stop kind of hiding them so much, really. And, you know, for whatever reason.
Right. Had my partying day doing 2 tours in South Korea. I'm long over those
Mm.
days. I'm just not focusing on making sure I get all my gear gets out of here. Oh yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I always call those the glory days, man. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to glorify those days, but bro, like back in the days, man, I used to be running and gunning, bro. I'm so
Mm.
glad. I'm so glad I'm past that, man. I'm so glad I. Whew. Let's see here. I get up every morning and thank God that I woke up. When I do that, it helped keep a positive day. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Right. And
definitely.
that's why I always talk about that video, you know, that YouTube video,
Mm.
right? Like, get something going in a positive direction, right?
Yeah.
That's why I make my bed. You know what I mean? Got to.
Yeah.
Taught Matt, the problem is society has taught men to bottle up their feelings.
Yeah, we've talked about that a fair bit, really, haven't we? Sort
Right.
of on here. I do think there's some, you know, I certainly was as a youngster. It was, you know, if you kind of fell over, it's like, I'll stand up. There's nothing wrong with you. Haven't done anything. Days where you sort of feel, well, I feel ill. I should go to a doctor. It was like, oh, you don't need to go to a doctor. You know, what's the matter with you? You'll be all right. And then if you had moans or groans about anything, it was like, you know, pull yourself together, get over it, get a grip was a good one. Even teachers and things like that, you'd be in school and a teacher would say, "I'll get a grip," and things and stuff. And I do think there was some positives to that, because I learned a lot of skills around about, you know, kind of, you have to push forward, you know, get over stuff as quickly as you can, reset as quickly as you can, you know, regroup, get on with stuff, which there's a lot of positives to be said for that, I feel. But then there's the times when you really do need to talk. And I think the two got very blurred, where it was, you can't talk about anything. So you do bottle everything up and you had to put a brave face on all the time. You know, so when you do need to talk, like we have been encouraged to a lot more these days, you know, there's an awful, obviously a lot of positives about that as well. So I always look for balance, really. So I kind of find that balance of getting on with things as much as you can, but when you need it, look for support and get support. That's kind of my outlook on it a little bit, really. Have you got any
I,
thoughts, Chris?
I agree with you on that, you know.
Mm.
And it's never so. I once again, I do think that society has gotten a lot better. You know what I'm saying,
Mm.
than what it was like back in the day.
Yeah.
I do think there's always room for improvement. You know, 100%. So that's what I
Yeah.
love what we do here. Right.
Mm.
I love it. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I think it's
I've
just perfect.
talking to a lot of younger people, sort of teenagers and things. I'm not too keen myself. It's only my opinion, but in schools now, like, rather than people being told, "Oh, you're feeling a little bit nervous," and that being recognised, or you're feeling a little bit nervous about, you know, a certain situation like public speaking or something like that. The wording seems to be changed now, where straight away it's, "Oh, you're feeling anxious and you're
Yeah.
feeling
You
panicky."
know, and I wonder how we got to that, dude. Because and
Mm.
what? So maybe you'll be able to answer this, because I've always wondered this myself. Like, what is the difference? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I think everybody, it doesn't matter if you got anxiety or if you don't, right? Like, you're gonna get
Yeah,
nervous in life. It just happens. So, like, at what
yeah,
point? Well, what is the distinguish? Explain to me how it went from how you perceive that it went from nervous to anxiety, and
yeah.
what is the actual difference, right?
I think for me, from what I noticed, is that there was obviously a lot of encouragement about people talking about their feelings and more about their feelings, and um, you know, and kind of explaining them and sort of the labels that they've got and that sort of thing. So I think there's been a lot more encouragement to sort of talk about that. So that's one side of it, which then that's kind of gone on to where people talk about anxiety a lot more, talk about panic attacks a lot more, and feeling panicky, depression, things like that. Um, but then I think for me the difference is that feeling nervous is, you know, we can kind of be getting onto a bus full of people and we can feel a little bit self-conscious and a little bit nervous. Anxiety normally, or always used to be used for the more extreme versions of that,
Right.
really. So you know, and connected with depression a lot. So if you're kind of, you know, depressed, then anxiety, panic attacks would be quite often connected with that. So it'd be more the extremes where, so I think we've been firstly encouraged to speak more about all those kind of feelings and illnesses, if you like, and conditions. And then on the other side, I think they got swapped because we were talking about them a lot more. But then I think it's just become normal behavior now, really, where we've kind of swapped, I'm feeling nervous about talking in public, to where now it's like I'm feeling anxious and I'm suffering from anxiety. So it's very easy then for that to sound more extreme. So when I'm kind of talking to a lot of teenagers now, and they don't really talk about being nervous about an exam. It's, I'm suffering from anxiety, or I'm anxious and I'm panicky. And I think it has got quite confused, really. It seems like people don't get nervous now over a situation, which we all kind of feel nerves. We all have that, we all have that voice that pops up and says, oh, can you really do this? Are you going to be safe? Are you going to be okay? But now instead it's kind of quite often described as, oh, I'm feeling really anxious about this. I'm suffering from anxiety. So, and I think that's very confusing at the moment. I think a lot of people are kind of getting those confused. And I think a lot of people are kind of thinking, well, I'm feeling these feelings, I'm more aware of them, and I need to go to a doctor, and they're getting prescribed more medications that perhaps really that they, might not need in a lot of cases. But I don't know if anyone else has got views on that. But no, I think it is, because all of a sudden you've got a lot of conversations around anxiety sort of now, which is good in some ways, but you've got a lot of young people explaining that they feel anxious, people in job interviews. And I think it seems to be, there's a lot of words, isn't there, like woke and things like that, and snowflake and things being bandied about now. So you got one group of society, perhaps the older kind of group, that are sort of saying, oh, all these snowflake children and things walking around. And so there seems to be a lot of labels flying around. And I think older generations are like, oh, younger people can't cope or deal with anything these days. They can't deal with their emotions. But in another way, I'm sure if you talk to a teenager, they say, well, I deal with my emotions all the time. So so I think it's quite a confusing world really at the moment, especially with the language that's being used. So.
I agree. And I think there needs to be more, and that's one thing that I've always kind of envisioned when I talked about changing the world, right, is bringing folks together, right? You know what I mean? Like, and getting past all that bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, man, at the end of the day, we're all human beings. We all put on fucking clothes, like we don't magically just show up in clothes. And I think we're all equivalent, you know what I mean? As far as the human side. So I think everybody deserves some sort of human,
definitely
respect. But now, don't get me wrong, there is evil out there, and then you got to handle that differently. I acknowledge that. But I don't know, man. There's just a lot of it seems to me like a lot of people just, if you disagree with somebody, then you're a bad person, and that's not the case. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, especially on social media as well, isn't it? I find so.
Just because I don't agree with you or you don't agree with me doesn't mean that you're bad people. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, it's okay to have different insights, right?
Yeah. There was a thing actually on Twitter today where someone made a comment, and I've kind of witnessed things to be different. So I just said, well, actually, in my experience, this is how I've kind of found it. And that person sort of come back straight away. It seemed like an argument, really. It was, well, no, that doesn't happen. And I kind of backed out of it fairly quickly, because I thought, well, I don't want to sit here spending time trying to convince someone that this is what I've seen and this is what I've witnessed, when they're telling me that really that doesn't happen and you haven't. So I just didn't want to spend the time on it. So I tried to kind of come out of that conversation. But then they obviously wanted to keep me in it. So it was like, so they kind of responded to me saying, oh, so it's okay for you to have an opinion, but you're not listening to mine. And I said, well, no, you've made your opinion and I've listened to it and taken it on board. So it's like, so And very quickly, people get the wrong idea on social media as well. They jump to conclusions and assumptions, and the name calling starts and all sorts. And there is a negative side to it, where you kind of just, I'm there because I want to talk to people and I want to learn as well. I want to learn new things every day. So I'm more than willing to kind of listen to anybody. I want to. I've always had the view really is that, the day that you think that you know everything, you know nothing at all. That's the way I see it. So I want to learn as much as possible, but I don't want to argue with people. That's not what I want to do. So
Sock Soldier says, I just can't wait to go home on leave. Just so done with this unit and can't wait to start a new page at a new base. There's nothing more this unit can help me with. Basically, since I first arrived 3 years ago, they put me in the offices and threw away any reason to let me do my job. Basically, I'm feeling the anxiety of being a failure, but at the same time, hating the unit for not allowing me to do my thing. That's why I can't I can't wait to get them orders to move on. I know you're excited about getting out of there, bro. 100%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Sounds like you've learned as much as you can do, really, from that experience, isn't it, in that situation? So,
right. Yo, Chris Armstrong, I appreciate them words, bro.
Yeah.
You guys are so kind, bro. I don't know, man. Like, I'm gonna tell y'all something. And I say this to a lot of people, right? It doesn't matter where I'm at. People ask me what I do for a living or whatever, and I'm like, I'm a full-time streamer, and they're like, oh, you play video games for a job? And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of it, but that's not the purpose. You know what I'm saying? They're like, what do you mean? Like, you're playing video games? I'm like, it ain't about that, and then I give the spill, you know what I'm saying? And the reason why I confidently say that and stand behind it so wholeheartedly is because of people like y'all that are here now,
Yeah.
Like, you guys are so beautiful. Like I've watched people in this chat do fucking beautiful acts of kindness to people and take care of people and care. And for no other reason, just because they're another human being, and to me, that's where it all starts. You know what I'm saying? And I'm humbled to know y'all, and I'm appreciative of always y'all being here and sticking by. It means the absolute world to me. It really does, man. Thank y'all. All right.
Yeah. Goes for me 100%. Too.
Right.
Yeah. I was talking to someone today actually, and they said, well, why do you do what you do? And I think, especially these days, there's people kind of out there that sort of mental health now. There's a lot of attention around it, a lot of conversations around it, and on social media, there's some ways that people have kind of set themselves up to make quite a bit of money out of it as well. And I was talking to this person today, and I said I just really hate watching people struggle and suffer, and if I can kind of stop someone struggling and suffering, then I'll do whatever I can to kind of help that, really. And I do. I think, like you've often said, haven't you, Chris? There's a lot of bad people out there, a lot of evil people and things, but you still believe strongly that the majority, are good people that want good for others and want to do good as well. And I think this is why I enjoy doing this each week and having these conversations, because everybody in here really becomes a community and has become friends as well. It's so good to see the same names week after week that play an active part in the conversations that we have and join us in moments like talking to Robert last week and and sharing kind of the thoughts about that as well.
And I'm humbled, man. Yo, chat, you guys are so fucking awesome, bro. Stumbled across this little community at the perfect time. I appreciate what you guys do more than I can say. Yo, Miss Robin, we appreciate you being here, sweetie. Much love. Much love. Yo, Chris Armstrong, the main difference between you and a gamer is that you actually talk and interact with your chat. Well, that's because that's because I like y'all more than I do the games, right? I'm not gonna lie to y'all, right? 100%. I like you guys a lot more than a video game. You know what I'm saying? Right? Yo, Grim, I appreciate your words, bro. I fucking love you guys, man. I love what we're building, right? I love what we're building. Like, it's just, I don't know, man. I'm so happy. I know, Chad. Don't be fucking Chad. Stop looking at me, bro. You guys make me nervous, right? You guys are making me nervous, bro.
I always remember the night you was crying, Chris. So it's
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, I do. That was a special night in itself. It was good. The hat come down a few inches, then, didn't it?
I know, right? Like, you guys are making me turn red, bro. You know,
But
stop
I
looking at
was
me.
again I was thinking the other day though, Chris, that there's different podcasts out there and stuff like that, and the length of time that we've constantly been going week after week for the time that we've been going as well. When you look at a lot of the podcasts out there and you have a similar conversations, I think the most I saw was kind of I think it was 120 something sort of episodes they'd done, which were an hour each. All of them had been an hour each, and that was the longest one that I'd seen. And I think they come to a close sort of about a year ago, I believe, from when I looked. We still here week after week having different conversations, different guests now as well. Still going strong with loads more to do as well. I feel it feels like we've only just started still, really, in a lot of ways.
And you know what? I do agree with that. I do think that it feels like that, and I think we've also taken some good steps. You know, I mean, we made mistakes. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
Chad, I think that incorporating these guests now and then alternating between 1 week with a guest, 1 week off, right? Like, or at least having one week gap in between guests. You know, 'cause we're not always gonna have them, right? But when we do have them kind of stacked up like this, I think that doing that week off and just hanging out with you guys and getting to talk with you guys, right? Because I feel embarrassed, right? I really do, Chad. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. So when I was sitting here listening to Robert, right? Like, I was very intrigued by the story and I related to it a lot and I was very tied into it. But there's that side of me that kept looking over the right, and I'm like seeing people type in chat. I'm like, like, Chad, I was getting nervous. You know what I'm saying? So, but I do want to tell y'all, like, I'm super sorry, if during these, when we have these guests, like, if we're not able to yak as much, but we'll always have that time. You know what I'm saying? Right. 100%. Let's see here.
I think, is there something that we could kind of do on that? Is like have a period of time where we kind of block it out as such, as in we kind of, perhaps chat question time or something like that to the guest?
I think it depends on the circumstances, Matt. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, naturally at the end, like, we would ask, you know what I'm saying? But I was more referring to while conversations are happening, like, that's when I'm normally like answering it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
No, definitely. Okay.
I do think that having people ask at the end, any questions is cool if the guest is up for it. You know what I'm saying? But if not, like what I was referring to was more like while everything's going down, I can't just stop. What's happening, right? And I get embarrassed because I can't. You know what I'm saying? Right?
Yeah.
First, I'm gonna be slammed this upcoming week with movements with cargo personnel. I don't know if next Sunday is open, but I'll keep you posted. All right, let me know. Let me know what's up. Oh yeah.
He's always up to something, Shock.
Out there getting it done. You know what I'm saying? Miss Robin, what did you do this weekend? Did you have a good weekend? Or no? It was so nice having Chelsea and Matt here. God, yesterday.
No, must be good. It's that's one thing I've definitely got it on me. I'm not going to say bucket list because I'm not planning on anything like that yet. But definitely something to get over there at some point and meet you all. It'd be good.
So Matt was actually in town it was kind of a dual purpose thing, right? Like, Matt had to go take a test and stuff for this new police department that he's applying at.
Okay.
And he passed everything, right? So, like, I think the next step is he's got to wait on them to see if they select him or not. But if they do that, they'll be like an hour away, or an hour and 30 minutes away. So
that'll be good, won't it?
Good.
There was
chat, maybe I can get some chat. Maybe I can get some homemade meals, right? Maybe I can get some homemade meals. I'll just be like, hey, Chelsea, and Matt, I'm coming over. Are you guys cooking food? How about I'll just chat. I'll use I'm just a baby
voice and be like, this is the baby. I need some food. I haven't had a home cooked meal in years. Can you guys? I'll pay for your groceries.
But I can smell it from here. Can I come over?
Chat, would that work? Do you guys think that would work or what? Bullets can't fly without supply. I can't believe I said that as a non-logistics. Oh my God, bro. Not much, clean work. Did some crochet. It was good. I saw them little things that you made. So Matt, if you look at Miss Robin's TikTok, she made these like little turtles and shit, like out of crochet stuff or whatever. It was cool. Right.
I will have to have a look. Yeah, I'll have a look. I know.
All right, Shock. We'll see you, buddy. We'll see you. Yo, Testable Gaming. What's up, dude? What's up, buddy? How was your weekend? Was it good? Yeah. So, chat. Would that work? Do you guys think that they would feel like sympathetic? You know, if they're like,
yeah, I think so.
I'm 38, man. I can only ride out this whole like single dude stuff. You know, like need to be fucking babied and shit. You know, I can only ride that out for so long, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yo, Shock, we'll see you, buddy. I hope you have a good night, man. And I'm glad that you're getting out of there soon.
Yeah,
you know
see you soon, Shock. Shock's getting a bit busier on TikTok, I noticed earlier as well. So I'll have to get on there and start liking some videos.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Testable, what'd you do this weekend, man? You got Gucci? I hear a weird noise.
Yep.
Have
you got much coming up this week, Chris?
No, not really.
No.
Just back to business as usual, right?
Yeah.
So we'll be running gun on the streaming side, and then mess around with TikTok. They sent me, so TikTok sent me some kind of swag box or something, right? So hopefully that comes this week. I wouldn't mind seeing what's in there. Hopefully something cool.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
I remember how disappointed I was when Facebook sent a partner package, bro. I was like, what the fuck, dog? Like,
because you opened that live, didn't you?
Yeah, and they sent me a tie-dye shirt, chat. Like, come on, bro. Yeah. Like, no, it was a hoodie. It was a white hoodie, but it went like to tie-dye at the bottom of the hoodie, bro. I was like, God, I'll never wear this, man. I gave it away to my sister, right? I gave it away to my sister. I was like, I'm not gonna wear that. You know what I mean? I hope it's something cool, man. You know what I'm saying? Like the TikTok colors will be cool. I'll be all right with that. Yeah. But please don't send me no tie-dye shit, dude. That's just not my nature, you know? Right?
Was it a mouse mat or something? Did you get a mouse mat or something as well? Something like that.
What?
There was a few bits in there, wasn't there? Like
there's like this little pin that said that just had the Facebook gaming partner logo on it. Right. Yeah. And then I can't remember. There's a few things, but none of it was really like, I mean, it was a good thought. Don't get me wrong, you know. But
yeah.
I just don't know how much effort was, you know, right?
Yeah. Are you because you're still classed as partnered on there, aren't you? As far as I know.
I don't know. I know they changed my page to like interest or something like that. A page not gaming or whatever, but it still had the partner logo on it. And as a matter of fact, they hit me up. So they have a third party contract with a management team. So that team reached out to me. They're like, Chris, you've been flagged for not meeting your monthly deliverables. Right. And I was like, damn, am I supposed to be taking groceries somewhere or something or what? You know? And then he started listing like, you ain't met the 20 hours of streaming per month and you ain't done this, you ain't done that. Please let us know if you plan on delivering your deliverables. Right. Like, you know, I thought that was a really funny way of putting it. And I was like, unfortunately, I have moved to Twitch and TikTok full time now. So no, I will no longer I no longer wish to be on the program. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if they're gonna take it away. Tie-dye with the hat. Oh, come on, Miss Robin. Come on. You know, and that's what I was saying. I was like, what the hell am I gonna do with this? Yikes. I just gave it away to my sister. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be like hippie cowboy.
Yeah,
that'd be some hippie weird cowboy look.
What? Like, Chris, did you move to Austin?
Even I know.
Yeah, I know, right? I just want to go hang out with all the California folks that are moving in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's see here. Tie-dye with a hat, huh? A true fashion icon. Yikes. Yikes. So chat, do you guys got anything else you guys want to talk about? Everybody good? Everybody happy? Everybody excited about this being a new week? Chat, if you had a bad weekend or a bad week this last week, guess what? Tomorrow's Monday. We get to start fresh. New things happening, right? We can set new goals for ourselves, weekly goals. If you guys are still feeling like, well, what the hell am I going to do this week? How's it going to be different? Well, you can make it different. And the way that one of the ways that you can make it different is by setting some goals, some weekly goals. Yeah. So if you guys got anything that you wanted to get done, I mean, actually, Miss Robin is a person that I watched one of her TikTok videos where she's like, I want to accomplish this by this day. And I had to do it with her crochet and stuff or whatever. Right. Yeah. And then didn't you finish it early? Right. Miss Robin, didn't you finish it early?
That tie-dye crocheting.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I'll definitely have a look on Robin's. I'll do that in a moment.
Today's a new day. Yesterday sucked with lots of shitty calls, but new day, new week. Right. And Grim, Grim, much respect, dude. Much respect, because no matter what, you know, those calls are going to come. Right. They're going to happen. Right. And I know it's tough to get through, but I respect you for it. And once again, if you ever get tripped up, you know where to find me. Right. 100% okay. How's your dad doing? He's doing okay. He's doing okay. Kind of still same Tie dye with a hat. Yo, Rugby, what's up, dude? What's up, Rugby? Rugby, yes. I'm sorry, dude. I was in the middle of this, but yes, I will. I'll be there. Right, I'll be there. You said 9 o'clock p.m. Right, 9 p.m. I'm down.
Finally getting over a cold. I've had a cold actually for about a week now. Just not a heavy one. It just won't go. It's just left with those last little bits.
It's the change of weather for me, chat.
Yeah,
right?
that makes a big difference.
For those of y'all that haven't seen Rugby, he's like real pale and tiny and whatnot. And I think he was talking about how he gets sick all the time when the weather changes too.
There's we haven't really spoken about that seasonal disorder, have we? Really, when kind of lack of sunshine and those sort of things. So that's another thing that we could perhaps have a look at sometime.
Yeah. So
you're hiding away under your hat again.
I was talking shit to Rugby.
I just kind of ignored those comments because I thought I'm not adding anything to them. So.
It was kind of an inside joke, anyways, right?
I thought we'd kind of escaped. So I thought I'd kind of escape that one.
You're done. Wind it up.
Giggling under your hat gave it away.
Oh man. So Matt, you got kind of anything you want to get out there? You want to talk about next week's guest real quick?
Yeah, got David Church, who's from the UK. I've known him for a while now. Is kind of he's only fairly youngish, but he's been through a lot kind of in his life. He had a car accident that left him with sort of some injuries and some disabilities. He plays snooker on a disability tour, which I'm sure he'll talk about that a little bit as well, of how that's kind of kept him going and given him an interest and a hobby, really. But he's got a lot of different experiences with his disability, his accident that he had, relationships. He lost his dad when he was fairly young as well. He was actually away at the time, traveling. So I'll let him kind of explain how that kind of impacted him, because he wasn't actually told until he kind of come back. But yeah, I'll let him kind of fill in the information on those things. But yeah, he's a really nice guy who I've known for a little while. It works out really well actually, because having these week sort of breaks, there's a little bit of a lineup of people that kind of have said that they want to come on. I think it's around about 5 or 6 different people at the moment, so all with a kind of a unique, different, their own stories. So yeah, it'll be interesting speaking to each one of those sort of as we go and kind of go forward. And it's one of those, because we've had some really good people on already with some really interesting backgrounds and experiences. And like every time I see someone's name, which I still haven't sent to Chris yet, so I'm going to have to do that. That'll be one of my tasks for this week, one of my goals. Yeah, every time I see someone's name, I'm sort of thinking, oh, I can't wait for that week, or I can't wait for, to speak to them and find out more about them. So I'm kind of wishing time away, but each one's really good. And I really like that we're going to have those times in between as well. Have you actually got any goals this week yourself, Chris, that you want to kind of achieve?
I just want to have one thing so with YouTube, right? Like obviously I've always talked about how it's been a dream of mine, right? And stuff like that. But I got really discouraged, and not on this side of it with the mental health, but on the upload side of it. I got really discouraged with the 4,000 watch time hours that you have to have in order to, get monetized and everything. So I kind of fucking put it on the back burner over the past few weeks. And I was talking with Matt yesterday, right? And we kind of got a little bit of renewal of motivation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so I was gonna, as a matter of fact, I was gonna stream tonight on Twitch afterwards, but instead tonight I got to wrap up I got to help Rugby out with these last interviews, and then I have to make this week's YouTube video tonight, right? So one thing that I want to accomplish is I want to have that week's video over to Matt before Monday, right? And then I also want to, throughout the week when I have free times or whatever, I want to do a bunch of videos too, so
yeah, that's good. Sounds like getting organized.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes in the way that I deal with that, right? Sometimes the way that I deal with that personally is I escape from it, right? And you know, I've always talked about that's one of my biggest battles is that when I get hurt or whenever I feel like I'm drowning, I tend to self-isolate.
Yeah.
And it's I have to combat that. So that's one thing that I really want to work on this week, especially. Chat, I like we kind of talked about this, we hadn't touched on this, you know, but I was kind of also a little bit not 100% myself over the past like week and a half, you know. So I talked about that with Matt and Chelsea and stuff like that too, and I got some things off my shoulders and whatnot, you know, and I really want to dig back into keeping the momentum going like it's going right, right, without getting bogged down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Still in Austin. I told you, I knew y'all wouldn't go. I knew y'all
Hi,
wouldn't go.
Chelsea.
Right. Yo, Chelsea,
Do you find, Chris, that streaming, especially with the hours that you have been putting in and stuff as well, does it take a lot of energy out of you? Do you have to kind of look after that and stuff?
The hunting streams really, really do, man. Like, and it's because of the screaming and the yelling, you know, and like, so I had this conversation with TikTok at one point, you know, but like the day before yesterday, or no, it was yesterday. Yesterday we did 3 hours on TikTok, man, you know, but I couldn't stop. Right, like the momentum was just going so strong, and we picked up 500 followers, you know, all that stuff. So, but I do get physically exhausted, and there's a lot of times too that I've always been this way, man. I've always done 2-hour streams because it's like I'm fucking like giving. When I get done with those hunting streams, especially on TikTok, like I'm exhausted, right? Because that chat is just fucking insane, bro. Right, like trying to call that out, trying to keep up with it, you know, and I'm so like into what's happening and trying to keep myself to stay focused because y'all know I deal with lack of focusing a lot, you know what I'm saying? So like I'm exerting more effort into that as well. It's really, really hard to sit down unless I'm like completely 100% engaged in something, you know, like I've done 4 or 5 hour streams, 6-hour streams, you know what I'm saying? Like I've done them before, but I can't do that with hunting. There's just no way, right? Like by the time I finished that 3-hour one yesterday, y'all, like I couldn't. I was like, oh shit, here we go, man. I'm gonna lose my voice, bro. You know what I mean? And this is one thing that, but that's just who I am. That's how I am already. You know what I'm saying? So I can't change that. You know what I mean? Like that's how much energy I have. You know.
That's something actually that it obviously stuck out for me from day one when I very first saw you streaming, and but even though you was playing different games or you had different games that you was involved in, as though you still had, you know, a huge amount of energy that just kind of, you know, just blasted out there straight away. And even that little speech that you done, as soon as I kind of liked and followed like your stream, you kind of do, you know, that big speech about, you know, thank you for following the stream, joining.
We're all about here, changing the world, man. Doing our part as individuals to contribute to society. All right, we also have a lot of mental health awareness. Yeah, dude. It's always been the same, man. It's always been the same. Chat, listen, that right there that Matt's talking about will tell you that was years ago, man, and it's always stayed the same, right? I'm so proud of that, man.
It's such a grabbing welcome though as well, and it does really kind of pull you in, which I haven't seen any other streamer actually sort of welcome people in that sort of way, and it did, especially doing what I kind of do. I sort of sat there and went, hang on a minute, who's this guy? It's like, and I kind of knew a little bit of you or about you sort of from other people like Wicked and, you know, and those sort of people, but as soon as I clicked on there and got that welcome, it just kind of pulled you in. But over those, you know, nearly 2 years, that energy just hasn't changed. It's still been there, you know, all the time when you come in. So, and there's some days where I kind of know that, you know, you've obviously got a life and you've got other stuff going on and stuff like that as well. But you've always pretty much been the same with that amount of energy. So yeah, I've often wondered really if you know, kind of how tired you feel afterwards, and you know,
Baby Netzel has really helped with that, dude.
Yeah, right?
Sometimes I'll flip out, right? Like, and I'll turn off the voice changer and be like, get out of the ground right now, push ups right, you know, like go off, right? But it's not as often and as like hammering my voice, bro. Because like I'm getting older, you know what I'm saying, Matt? Like I'm getting older. I can't. I like this is what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like this is where I'm supposed to be every night. You know what I mean? Like, and I can't jeopardize that anymore, bro. Like, and I get nervous, right? So even after yesterday, after the stream, I was like, all right, Chris, chill out, okay? Like, I know Chelsea and Matt are gonna be here. We're gonna go have fun, and even with Chelsea and Matt here, hey, yo, Chelsea and Matt. First off, I hope your daughter's okay. Right, keep me up. I'll call you once we get done here. But also, did y'all notice I didn't scream and act a fool too much? Right, so like I really have to take these steps, and that's why even tonight, like I said, I was debating on streaming tonight. But then I was like, okay, well, I gotta knock this other stuff out. I'm really working hard on digging back in this YouTube stuff. So let me record the video tonight, and then also it'll still give me a little bit of a break on the voice side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good.
So,
yeah,
I just need to do a better job at like self-care, I think.
Yeah,
and I don't know, but I don't think anybody's perfect, but there are some things that I needed to work on and that I had to deal with and cope with and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But we're good. We're good. So that's my goal for this week is to be right back on track like we've always been,
No, sounds 100%.
Good.
Yeah.
Chelsea,
no, I think you do a brilliant job.
Yo, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate the words, bro. Chat, do you guys got anything else kind of in closing? Are we all good? If you guys ever need anything, don't ever forget, right? Don't ever forget that we have Discord. We've got that whole help section with help numbers and websites from all different countries. Okay. Easy peasy, you know what I'm saying? Yo, Alex, what's up, dude? We're just talking
hi, Alex.
What's up, dude? Where's them eyeballs at, bro? Right now. Aye, sir. Open your mouth, Alex. Hurry up.
He's got his eyes closed. That's what it is, isn't it?
Open your eyeballs right now. Aye, sir. I know. Yo, Chris, dude. There's just, listen, I'm going to tell you, I've never had a connection with a 5M character like I do with Baby Nestle, bro. And it's so easy. We were talking about this last night, right? It's so easy for me to play Baby Nestle because that's my personality, right? Like what you see, that is my personality, right? Like I don't have to, like I'm random and dumb, right? Like that's just the story of my life, you know what I'm saying? And I'm proud of it, right?
I just know not to stand next to you when you got a fire thing in your hand.
A Molotov.
Yeah, anything like that. Yeah.
Yo, Ducati, I appreciate you, buddy. I appreciate you being here. What I missed so far? We're just wrapping it up. We're wrapping it up. Basically, just to kind of recap what is going on. We kept this one kind of general. The reason for that is because last week we had a guest who unfortunately lost his son to suicide. And what I was telling everybody earlier is that I'm sorry that when we have those guests, like I feel terrible on the inside. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, right? Like I feel really bad because I'll be watching y'all type in chat and then I can't interrupt what the guest is saying to address it, right? And then I feel guilty about it, right? So we were thinking that a good compromise is that to have a guest, right, take a week in between guests and then, like kind of rotate it. So that way we can either have a general conversation or we can kind of do our own thing that we've always done, like recognizing our lost loved ones and have those little things like in between, right? Because I feel so fucking bad, bro. I really do. Like I feel terrible that I can't like stop what the guest is talking about. But listen, having that person here as a guest, I'm sure did great things for him, right? Like as a person, I'm sure that's his way of coping and making a difference, But it also, I think it's instrumental and key for us to be presented with these things that these guests talk about. Because listen, we never know when we'll find ourselves in the same shoes, right? Or we'll never know when somebody that's really close to us finds himself in that position. You'd be like, hey, I remember hearing this, I remember hearing that, and this is some things that I know this guy did, and he said that he did. So I think that having these guests is very instrumental, but more instrumental on not necessarily like what's happening right now, but what could potentially happen later, and just more of an educational type of thing, right? So I don't play catch with Baby Nestle. Yo, Lord of Days, what's up, dude?
Well, Chris.
I hope that's a good idea.
Yeah, I hope it makes sense as well. I think it does because it kind of makes sense to myself really as well. There, especially last week, wasn't it? I think it's such an important insight and kind of conversation to sort of have. I think I said on the evening, I think it's probably the most important probably chat we've had sort of so far. I think for myself, I think because we're always talking about communicating, how important it is to talk, and I think to have someone on that experienced what he had. And I know it helped him out as well because I hadn't actually mentioned to yourself, Chris. I got a message from him via TikTok as well saying, thank you so much for letting me come on and to, allowing me to speak about my son. So, he did. I think he got a lot out of that evening and he really appreciated us sort of having that conversation with him as well. So, it's an important one.
So I hope you guys are cool with that, man. And like I said, not everyone in between will be a general thing, right? Like we'll still have topics and stuff that we could go over and whatnot, you know, but it's going to be more centered towards individually y'all, right? Especially when we have those guests on 2 different weeks back to back, because I don't want y'all. I want to have that time where we can talk about last week's guests or the things they went through, and if you guys remember anything key instrumental to it, right, we can discuss it, and we can also have our own topics or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I hope you guys are cool with that. You know.
I think as well, if there's anyone in chat that kind of wants to come on as well and have a chat.
Don't forget we got Kayla that wants to come on too.
Yeah, Kayla as well. But anyone in chat, because it's a great opportunity to actually kind of talk to you properly and things as well by doing that. And
if you guys want to come on here, like go to the Discord, and there is a section in the Discord for mental health guests, right? So if you guys want to do that, feel free to comment in there and put like what Friday you would be available to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're also good with random, like whatever, so just let us know, right? Let us know so we can adjust accordingly as well, right?
That'd be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Matt, I'm humbled, man. I'm humbled to know you. I appreciate everything that you're always here with us every week. It means the absolute world to me, bro. 100%.
No, likewise. And thanks to Chris Armstrong as well there for his comments as well. It's I just feel the same. I always do, and it always, because you end up repeating yourself really, but I mean it so much is just great. It's just a great community to kind of come and be in touch with sort of every week, and I wouldn't change that for anything. Obviously, being 1 o'clock in the morning sort of here at the minute, and it doesn't bother me at all. It's easy. It's easy conversations. It's a great community, great group of people to kind of know. And what I like about it as well is that anyone new that kind of comes in, they kind of fit in so quickly and easily. And, it's just such a safe place to kind of have a chat and these sort of conversations. And I can't believe 2 years in November, is it? Which is coming up quick. So we've done well. That's good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, chat, we love you guys, man. Appreciate you. Yo, I'm fucking humbled. I don't know, man. It's indescribable how grateful I am for you guys. Right? 100%. Okay.
Do I actually make sure that I leave properly this week, Chris?
Oh yeah.
I forgot. I kind of all of a sudden I heard something, and then I thought that still sounds like Chris. And then because I'd taken my earbuds out as well.
Oh yeah, I was calling you, bro. I was like Matt. After it ended, you know what I'm saying?
And then I went to talk to you then as well, but then clicked on leave. So all of a sudden,
hashtag change the world.
Yeah,
yeah, dude.
So
yeah.
All
right. So listen, if you guys are watching this video after it went live over there on YouTube, man, I appreciate y'all being here and making it through it. Yeah. We go live on Twitch and TikTok virtually every night. Okay. And we do these mental health streams typically on Friday instead of on Sundays. Okay. At 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you guys ever want to come hang out, man, come fight some demons. Yo, we got some warriors here who are more than willing to help out. Okay. Matt, I appreciate you. Chat, I love you guys, bro. You guys at bomb.com. And then next week, man, huh?
Yeah. Have a good week, all. Don't forget to make your beds.
Every day, right? Every day.
Every day.
All right, Matt. Appreciate you, buddy. And chat, love you guys.
Take care. See you soon.